near killed him. Anyway, welcome back to the Dreamkillers podcast.
What's up, guys?
Today we got a really special guest. This is great because we've been gone for a little while, obviously because
3 months.
3 months because of social distancing and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, clearly you guys are sitting really far away.
Yeah.
Pillow is about 6 feet apart right
If you
there.
don't know, this is 6 feet apart.
Well, we had to go through a 14-day quarantine just to do this show. So we're really happy to have Josh here and our special guest, Kimmy.
Hey!
Oh, you gotta say it correct.
You gotta say it right.
It's Mugen Kimmy.
There you go.
Don't disrespect her.
And we got our special guest, Mugen Kimmy.
Hey!
Welcome to the show. Good to have you here. It's always a pleasure to have good friends in the. We're not in the studio today. We're actually in the house.
Gotta be
We can't
comfortable.
tell you where we're at, but
Yeah,
it's a secret spot.
there's some things going on in the garage, and we didn't want to interrupt that, so we came into the house to do the show today, which is great. Always crazy things happen in the laboratory, so here we are.
Always,
here we
yeah.
are.
Yeah, it sounds
It's
good.
good. You already know about us, but what I really want to talk about is Kimmy over here, Mugen Kimmy, the superstar of the Honda scene.
AKA Latrack member, too, as well.
Yeah,
Track member.
Latrack
Put it
member.
up
Don't
for
forget
Latrack
that.
members.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Kimmy, tell us what you drive. It's better to hear it from the source than for us to say.
So, what I drive, a lot of Honda enthusiasts are actually very familiar with it. I drive a 2008 Honda Civic Si, but it's the Mugen Limited Edition. And what's so special about this car and what people truly appreciate it is that 1,000 was only made and only in the year of 2008. And engine-wise, there wasn't any special modifications. It's still a K20 engine. And so what it is what made it different is it has all of the exterior and some interior Mugen aesthetics that is specific to the car.
Right.
The only way you can really obtain these parts is if you got a buddy that has a Mugen and they give up their VIN and you can order
Right.
parts from it, or you got to buy it off someone that parts it out. Otherwise, these parts are very limited, and it being a 12-year-old car now, these
Super
parts
rare.
are just super rare and limited, and it's hard to come by. So I know a lot of people ask me on my Instagram all the time, like, what bumper are you running? What side skirts are those? And I hate to break it to them, like, oh, I think you might have to get a rep, or you might have to, get someone to search for someone that's parting out and be able to obtain those parts, because they definitely are a rare appearance in the car scene right now.
Well, I've seen quite a few rep setups on those, just because people want that look of that actual car. In particular, the wing is kind of crucial on that.
Very iconic, yes.
Very iconic.
Super iconic.
And you can tell, if you look close, you can tell.
It's very different. I notice it right away because the USDM, so specifically to the US models, is actually a 4-piece wing. A lot of people that get the reps, it's actually either it's a 2-piece where it's entirely just like, the winglets and then, bench.
The bench, the table.
Bench,
table where you eat food.
ramen table, whatever you want to call it. That is definitely something that you can tell that is a replica. And honestly, a lot of the Mugen parts, you can tell that the fitment is kind of off. So this is my second year around wrapping my car. So I've been taking this car apart twice.
Wow.
Dumb me, taking this entire car apart, and I've been able to learn the entire exterior aesthetics of this car, and everything is modeled and molded to the Mugen aesthetics that came on the car, and the bolts and everything fits perfectly. And if I take it apart, it'll go back on perfect. It's not like the rear lip will kind of sag or anything. Everything just bolts on as perfect as can be. So that's something that kind of sets it apart, and you kind of can see how it differentiates from different companies creating these kits.
Right.
Well, it's nice because, like, you get the, like, did they all come in blue? Like your
Yes, that is something that I've left out. They
Good
only
question.
came in Fiji blue pearl.
Ooh, it's
I know a
beautiful.
lot of people really like the iconic Type R red or what is the color Champion white in
white.
the Type R's.
Love
But
it.
when the US came when Japan was, gave us this model to bring into the US, it
Thank you,
only came in
Japan.
Fiji blue pearl.
I will say,
Which that color is amazing.
It is amazing.
I
It's
love
really
that
good.
color. It's gorgeous.
I remember one time, Josh, it was at a MNCEC. I think it was the very first Light Up the Night show. It was I was cleaning my car in the sun, and he's never seen like the sun like shine on it for some odd reason. I don't know. He sees me all the time. I'm gonna call him out on this. He sees me. He sees the car all the time, and he was like, "Dang." That's what your car looks like. It's literally like iridescent.
Yep.
It's glowing. It's got so many pearls in it. And he was like in awe. And I'm like, I was a little offended, but I was also like really happy. I didn't know how to feel.
Oh wow.
well, that kind of brings us to the next kind of thing. Why do you hide that color?
Yeah, why do you? I want to know this.
I guess, so I actually have owned the car since 2013. So
Oh, wow.
I've had the car
Wow.
since
I didn't realize that.
since 2013. So I've had the car for 7 years, and I actually wrapped it for the first time last year in 2019, and then I'm wrapping it a new color again this year, which I haven't even.
By the way,
driven
guys,
the car.
if you guys want to see the photos, my
Don't you
my
dare.
PayPal
Don't
is
you dare. It's at least a $20 charge until the
Yep.
review.
it's like an OnlyFans, but
No.
just for cars.
But I like your reveals because, like, before you did the gray, and we actually did some color coordination because you said you were coming out with the gray car, and it was on the list. You're like, I don't want to do a Nardo. I want to do something different. And I was like, okay, let me figure out another color. Well, obviously, I went to brown because nobody's got brown cars.
And that's what makes it unique, though. And,
Right. Super
And
unique.
I totally understand that the Fiji Blue Pearl is actually really unique to the Mugen as well. But
Sure.
that's the reason why I didn't paint the car, is wrapping
don't.
it is, the original color is still under there. And if I want to go
Yeah.
back to it, it's still there. And that's what it is. And I never want to take that originality away from the car.
Right.
So,
Right.
I would say I never want to get rid of this car, and I hope I never have to.
I don't think you
but
should.
Hold on,
I'm-
stop. I'm gonna call you out right now.
What?
You were thinking about getting rid of this
Because
car
I like
last.
to fuck with you.
Oh my god!
Sounds
Dude,
about right.
I got mad. She's like, "I'm gonna get rid of it." I was thinking about selling it. And I was like,
Was it April 1st when
No.
she said that?
There
"It
was-
definitely was not April 1st."
There was a meme that came out, and I'll tell you guys this. There was a meme that came out. I'm probably going to say it wrong in some way, shape, or form. It's like, I know I say that I hate this car all the time because when you work on your car, who likes your own car?
No
one likes
one.
your own car.
No one.
And there was a meme that came out, and it's like, oh, like, I don't know, what if my car drops on me on the stands and I squish to death, whatever. But there was a meme that said, well, at least she died doing what she loved. Fuck no. I did not doing what I loved. I hate this car.
Hashtag Harbor Freight recall.
Yeah, don't buy Harbor Freight.
Check your serial numbers.
Oh, a side note of that too, Josh, the 4 stands that you borrowed to me.
Hold on, stop. Before you even say anything, I don't know where they came from, and I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who bought or where he bought them from, but Hip,
Yeah. They're-
they're yours, bro.
Oh, okay. So they're all on recall. So I'm going to go swap them out.
So Hip, you're welcome.
I'm getting you new stands.
You did
Hip.
me a favor, and now Ian's gonna do you a favor.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't
Shout
put
out
them
to
under
Pristine Detail.
Right, exactly. Shout out to Pristine.
Pristine detail. That's right. But yeah, so I don't know, Kimmy. Like, what's the future for you this year? Like, I know it's very limited, but what do you plan on doing this year with your car?
So I did something that I swore up and down all around for the last 7
already
years
know
that I
this.
wouldn't do, and I gave in. I did the JDM rear conversion on my car.
Okay.
It's something that I said
Okay.
I would not do. But so what maybe some of you non-JDM fans don't know is so my car is an FA5. and that's the US version. So we came with different headlights and taillights, and the front end and rear end is a little bit different compared to the Japanese models. And the over in Japan, theirs is called the FD2. And so they have a very much better looking Honda Civic, I guess the 8th generation.
Yeah.
And I did some research actually, and the reason why the US didn't bring the FD2 models over here is because they thought it was too aggressive and people wouldn't buy it and that it
What?
wouldn't make good sales.
So
Right?
stupid.
I know.
So dumb.
I know.
Do they not know anything about Americans? They're all aggressive,
Right.
super aggressive.
We're all fat and we all like aggressiveness.
We like aggressiveness. I mean, no, but probably in time they're probably looking for a softer look to the car. I get
Exactly.
that.
It's a little rounder. I would say that there's not a bunch of hard body lines on the car. So
But look what they did with the new Civic.
exactly.
You
It's
know.
it's straight out of the box. Like you don't really need to do anything
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, I mean, I would even say, not the high trim level. I don't know what's below, the highest trim level.
There's like the Type R, and then
Yeah, but what's the
there's like
next
the
one
SI,
down?
and then there's like the Touring.
So the SI, the one next down, has a little different wing setup on the rear. It has that with the new one, but
Less aggressive, but not as
it still looks aggressive.
yes.
Like if a lot of people won't even, they won't even recognize what a Type R is compared to the SI unless you actually know what
I think
that
my
looks
favorite
like.
thing that Honda finally adapted, because they put it on Acuras at least like 3 to 4 years way before they did it to Hondas, is the dual headlights. They finally put it on the 10th gens, and it looks great. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they put it on like the Acuras, like the RDXs and all that stuff, like way
Right.
before.
I would own an Acura.
I
Hold
think
on,
I would
would
too.
you
I
though?
think they're
Hold
good
on.
cars. They're
Okay.
good cars.
I kind of,
I don't believe you.
I have.
I'm going to tell you right now. Hold on.
Let's get some truth out of this.
So you,
Would
I have,
you?
I have an
you
Acura.
literally. Oh,
I have an Acura up my sleeve
okay. You
that I
literally.
will pull out, and I will within the next year or so.
NSX.
I'm gonna just take it in.
John Wayne, we're coming for you.
Right, John Wayne. You ain't got nothing going on.
So we're gonna
Just
do
kidding.
we're gonna do a little like kind of a charity booster for somebody. This is gonna be really cool. We're gonna take an Acura CL.
Wait, hold on. Am I supposed to know what this charity booster?
You will, but we're gonna take an Acura CL and we're gonna
Wow.
put hands on it. We're gonna make it really cool. Do some nice touches to it, make it a nice, cool, fun car for someone, and then offer it. And then the profit margin that we take from that is gonna go back to the people where the car came from to go to their daughter's
That's
college
amazing.
fund.
Super
Oh
cool.
my goodness, that
So-
is amazing. That's one thing that I truly love about Drive Cartel and Latrec, and what a lot of groups in Minnesota stand for is we always look to give back to our community. I mean,
absolutely,
Minnesota Nice really does stand true. Like
It
we
really
always
does.
want to give back to our community, and I love that. That is so great, Ian.
No, that's what we're gonna do. If you want to be involved, we can do that. But we'll be taking, people getting in it. We'll shoot video on it and everything. It should be a pretty fun event. So,
Super cool.
but yeah, we're gonna step up the game. It's pearl white too, by the way. It's gonna look great.
Ooh.
Everyone loves a nice
So I'm gonna
pearl
put
white
some-
Is it
car.
for sale
So
or
we're gonna
it's
cut
for
it.
sale?
You're not
It
buying it,
will be
Josh.
for
You want to buy
sale.
everything.
Yeah,
I
Josh wants to buy everything.
know.
You already have an Acura.
Seriously.
You don't need another one.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, what have you done to that Acura?
Put coilovers on it.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, Racelands. All right.
No, they were not
Racelands,
Raceland.
hashtag crash.
First off,
Hashtag crash into a tree. But anyway,
Rude.
so you can't really tell us about the color, and I get that, but it is a beautiful car, and I'll have a photo of the car as it sat last year, and then maybe I have something a little older I can put in there. I'll show the viewers if you're watching. You'll be able to see that here in the video. But so one thing I've noticed, and like you're a blast to hang out with on shows, by the way.
Aw.
You're super fun. Like
okay, stop lying.
no, it's fun. Like,
Josh, you're the one lying.
there's this photo that I have of Kimmy like walk by her car and it was a little chilly outside. Kimmy's in the back of the car with a
I
blanket.
remember this.
Chilling.
I think that's Nuke's blanket. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, and it's just your head popping out of the window, and it's just like it was pretty awesome. So
Wait, wasn't that Fast and the Furious, right?
Yes.
Fast and
It
the
was
Furious.
so
Yes, that was cold.
so cold that day.
I liked it. It was nice. I had a
No,
hoodie.
my dog was so cold. Like
Excuse me, I babysat your dog.
you did, but and I tried to put her in like a little blanket and like in the backpack that she sits in. I felt so bad.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I love living in Minnesota and everything that it comes with. The one thing is that car season comes to such an abrupt end sometimes.
It halts
I
so
mean,
quick.
I think after the Fast and the Furious, it kind of just. I think that was one of the last shows that
was one of the last biggest shows.
one of the last biggest shows that
Yeah.
we were able to do. Is just it's cold. I mean, we're
It's
not.
3 parts though.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have in Minnesota we have scramble to get it done season.
AKA it rains every day, so the
Yeah,
big
so
hitters
you're
don't
just
come out.
working on your stuff,
Getting
trying to
bit
get
by
it done.
mosquitoes.
Yep.
and then we have like the show season, which is the shows and everything that we would go to normally. Obviously, with COVID, it's a little different.
Hashtag zip ties.
Yeah.
Speed it up.
We'll talk about that.
Yep, and then that's the time we find out who's gonna blow up their car because that's usually when that happens is because they didn't take enough time over the winter to fix it. And then we have boost season, which is when our cars it's pretty optimal because we're actually getting colder temps and we're out there running the cars as much as we can later in the evenings, and it's great. Like the cars just run so much better at night. But the fact of that is we don't really want to even go to shows as much because it's like, well, it's cold outside. Why do we want to be outside the car? So we're driving them before we have to store them or go put them back on.
Hey, you know what helps though?
What's that?
If you go to www.drivecartel.com, we actually have some really nice hoodies that will
Do got some nice hoodies. That'll keep you warm.
So
Very
I love that.
affordable, very soft, doesn't shrink. I love wearing them.
they are great.
I have noticed that somebody actually put mine in the dryer, and I was really.
I won't put mine in the dryer because I'm too scared.
I thought it was gonna shrink, but I pulled it out and put it on. It was the same because I bought 2. It was the same size. I couldn't believe it.
Nice.
I love it. Absolutely love
Wow.
it.
So
same
shout
same
out-
goes with the shirts.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the shirts.
I don't know. They don't shrink for me.
I'm not
so.
gonna lie. I've showed some of my belly button a couple times
Well,
after
I
watching.
think
them.
I think that's caused by other
that's
attributes.
Taco
of-
Bell.
Oh, here we go. You know,
Hashtag
And-
Taco Bell. Hashtag beers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
hashtag Dreamkillers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers to you at home. Don't touch
Cheers
my
to everyone
cup.
at home.
Wow, I don't have COVID in me, bro.
I don't know, dude, bro.
Hey, well, here, cheers.
Yep. See, air cheers.
Did you? Have you? I swear to God, if either one of you say "ew" one more time, I'm gonna walk out.
No, you won't. You like the attention.
Bye, guys.
You like the attention too much.
It was
Sit back
nice.
down.
So,
I hate you guys.
I love it. So, now at shows,
Oh, I
do
didn't
you
even
ever get like people come up to you and weirdly talk to you, like
They go ahead.
I'm not gonna say the name.
just coming.
The
The reason why I say this is because, like, okay, so I know in the past people have thought you were one of the like a model or on that team, but I'm like, no, she's a driver, an owner, and it's different, because like the model crew goes out and does their thing, but you're hanging out with the cars and stuff like that. I can't remember who it was, but somebody confused you with somebody else.
Yes, for sure. They confused me with one of the.
Don't say names.
I won't say any names.
Don't say any
I won't
names,
point out
okay.
any names, but someone did confuse me as a model, and I think what sets them right is if they approach me at an actual car show, is I'm actually able to talk about my car, and I think that's what kind of sets me apart. It's not saying models don't have the cars at all, but it's my actual car that's in the
Right.
show, and I think more times than not, most people are actually surprised when I hop out of my car. They're like, "Oh, dang, it's a girl driving
Yeah.
the car," and
When you gave me the rundown on your car, and like I was just sitting there going,
Me
like,
too.
I was like, wow, you really know your you know your stuff.
I
I'm like,
know.
So-
I know my car.
which is awesome.
So can I ask a question without being like don't get
Weird.
mad at me? No,
I'm
not
always
weird.
mad at you.
I know that, but so
it comes.
how many times have you got out your car and been like, "Oh, is that your boyfriend's car?"
Oh my goodness!
And then I
It's-
want to know what their face is like afterwards. You kind of like
They
put
kind
them
of
in
like
their place.
take like a step back and like observe the car even more. Like kind of like
Who's
the most that I got that was so. I mean, in Minnesota, I would say. I mean, I've been around for a while. I mean, having this car and people started calling me when I first got the Mugen SI. People started calling me Mugen Girl because they didn't know who I was. I didn't have a Facebook.
Right.
People didn't know who I was, but when I got those looks and those questions was actually when I went to Tuner Evo in Chicago. When I was
Same
sitting,
year?
the same year I went with Drive Cartel, and I was like sitting in the driver's seat because I'm sitting in my own car, and I invited a friend to come with me. He happened to be a guy, and they started he was sitting next to me, and they started asking him questions about
That's so
my
messed up.
car, and I'm like, it's actually my car, and the transition gets kind of weird and
Yeah.
standoffish because I think, guys have like a different connection with dudes, like a dude connection versus like they
No,
don't.
we don't.
No, we don't. Oh, okay.
Nah, bruh.
Nah,
but
bro, we don't. We ain't got that.
Yeah, it's different. I would say with this day and age and how time has evolved, girls are really putting a stand out. They're really, they're coming to the scene and they're coming out strong, and I'm really
love that.
impressed. I love it too.
Yeah, I love it too.
I would say that a lot of the female enthusiasts is they always think that, oh, we're against each other, we don't like each other, but honestly, we actually support each other a lot. And
Yeah, we see it with like car queens and stuff like that.
yeah, we're all
love
part
car
of.
queens.
I love their shows.
Yeah, we
love them.
We
I
strongly
love
support each other, and we always wish each other well. And if something's going on, or if someone needs help with something, or someone needs like promoting or whatever it may be, like we all support each other because we are a small group.
Right, but it's growing every year,
It's
though.
growing
That's-
every year. I mean, the female enthusiasts are
Yeah.
taking the car community by like the storm.
Yeah,
So
I dig that.
Super
I dig
cool,
that.
yeah.
Well, and you go. So you go out of state.
I do.
You go do a bunch of stuff, other shows, and just and bringing your car, and also just attending stuff, right?
Yes, for sure.
So what's it like going out and doing hitting those shows?
I would say so. The difference between being like a participant, like bringing my car to an actual show, versus being a spectator is really different. So
Okay.
when I'm a spectator, for example, I went out to San Francisco for like Stance Nation and Slammed Enough.
that's
and-
fancy.
Oh, very fancy.
Oh, that's
It's-
fancy.
Oh, so you rich.
Fancy.
It's different because when I'm locally in Minnesota, you're reconnecting with people. You're talking with
Sure.
people that you've known for the past 3, 4, 10 years
Right.
potentially, and you're reestablishing that connection, right? And
Right.
those friendships versus when you're out of state, you're building new friendships, but you also get to observe cars from a different perspective. When you're
yeah.
local, you're kind of by your car or you're with your friends a lot, and you don't really get to look at other people's cars. Sometimes I'll be honest, when I go to a show, I'm kind of stingy and I kind of stand by my car a little more because if
She's
people
lying.
have questions, I want to be able to answer them because
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
from like a female enthusiast, I want to be like, that's my car. I'm able to educate you on it, on whatever you need to know.
Wait till you're 60. You'll just have a lawn chair and you sit and.
Right behind it or right in front of it, so no one can take good photos.
Watch me pull out a
What
lawn.
do you need to know?
Don't touch it.
Don't touch the car.
Don't even look at it.
Move along, kid. But no.
I mean, out of state, it's truly incredible. I mean, every state has its own culture, is what I like to say.
Right.
I mean,
It
every
does.
state has, they have like every state still has like their stance cars and et cetera. But I would say, for example, in Minnesota, van culture isn't like a big thing, but it's coming.
Hashtag van life.
Oh,
Van
no,
life, hey.
hashtag van culture because
Van
they're
culture.
amazing.
They're,
Oh, yeah,
they're,
van
they're-
culture,
They're
yeah.
becoming a big thing in Minnesota. But when I went to San Francisco, the last show I went to in San Francisco was 3 years ago. There was so many van cultures. I would say by like 20
Sure.
of them, and
Really?
it was incredible. It's incredible to
That's
see
super
the
cool.
type of culture and style that is out there.
Why
and
don't you have a van then?
Trade the Mugen, trade the Mugen.
I have 2 kids, aka 2 Siberian Huskies, but I don't see myself driving a van anytime soon.
Hold on. If you had a slammed van, you would drive it.
You know what? That might be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that would catch even more eyes than the Civic.
Yeah.
Well, I had the Dodgy Bond. I sold the
Yeah.
Dodgy Bond.
I'm so sad you
Before
sold
that, I had.
I remember you went to some Grim Speed meets
Yep,
with
yep.
that. That was great.
Before that, I had Murder Van, which I don't know if you guys knew about. Josh,
Yes, I did.
Yeah, Murder Van.
AKA, I can't say the word, but let's just say we put a free candy
Yeah, you guys
sticker.
put free candy on the side of it. Okay, so what I'll say is, from my experience, I've had vans all my life, ever since high school, which is a long.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about that. You had vans since high school. We know what you were doing
No, I had a
Selling ice cream?
I had a windowless.
Clearly wasn't selling ice cream. He was selling another different cream.
I had a windowless Ram van, which is a caravan, but it's but it's a Dodge Ram van, which is a caravan, but no windows.
I mean, he's literally just.
But hear me out.
He's putting himself in this
literally
hole.
digging the hole where
Okay, but
it's the Ram van.
hear me out. So.
You say like, come
All
on,
right. But hear me out. So what we had was, and this is in true like teenage fashion. So we insulated the entire cargo van.
Okay.
That
right?
must have taken a lot of time.
No, it's a
I'm
Ram.
just-
It's
I'm
like
just-
a caravan size Ram, like
okay.
the little minivan
Yeah.
one, but no windows. So and then
You're digging your
then
hole
what we
deeper, bro.
did, we put a pair of 18s, a pair of 12s, and a pair of 10s in a
Those things just
stack
bang.
on the back wall.
My
And-
goodness.
And then, no, this is true teenage fashion right here. So it just had your normal, like, I think it had some, like, Kicker or Celestian speakers, but it had the Punch Series 1s in the back. And
You
it
were
was
the
little-
coolest kid in the high school parking
Gross.
lot, weren't you?
No, but this thing, you could still see the mini Gasco vinyl, like, where the sun had faded it. And this thing was the loudest van ever. And I thought it was so cool because that's what it was. But what I did learn was having a van, you can do a lot of cool things in.
You can. You guys remember the show Pimp My Ride when it was a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead. I got something to say after this. Go ahead. I just thought
No,
of something.
I just remember that they would put like a million TVs into
Yeah, I don't
every
do
vehicle
TVs.
that they.
So two things. We're gonna edit this into it, and we'll talk about this in a second. But that show, like, if you research it, they wouldn't do anything to the motor. So they'd be like,
No, they
"Here's
would-
7 TVs. Here's an Xbox."
So the car can break down and not get an oil change, and they wouldn't care about it.
never be able to afford.
Yeah, they
to
would
fix
rip
it.
they would rip all that stuff out there after it was done.
It was
That's crazy.
literally a
Crazy.
stock motor with all this stuff in it.
There's a really funny, I guess, documentary on it on YouTube. You can search around and find it. Pretty cool. But getting back to the van thing, so we can move along. I will say, after going through progressions of my life, having different models and all that stuff, I've come back around to my favorite type of van, and we bought the van and we camp in it all the time. We take
Is it still called the Ram van?
no, this is
You didn't
New
get,
name.
That was
Give it a new
clearly a
name.
joke.
well,
bro.
this is called
New name.
we just call this van 2.0 because
Yes.
it's not Murder Van. It's the same model as Murder Van,
but way nicer.
But it's way nicer. This is like I looked for it for years and I found one in Iowa and I grabbed it. So it's a body kitted.
It's
from,
weird that Iowa is like the hidden gem for cars.
Yeah,
It
totally.
really is.
Yeah, it was cheap and it was great, but you had to drive a long way to get it, and it's good. But the fact is, I've had I pulled over and I figured out a way, and this is awesome with the load deck. So I can pick up a 2JZ engine. You can drop it in the back of my van, okay, and I can back up to my garage, put an engine stand on that, but just jack up the van like an inch or two. Put an
That's
engine,
it?
Jeez. Put an engine stand on it, and then I can drop the van down and roll the engine right out of the back of it.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we, Brian and them know we load a bunch of people in. I have it's the adult cruiser edition GMC. And basically, this is how this works. It's got 12 cup holders, one for your drink, one for your mixer.
I remember when you first got this van, the first thing you told us about was the cup holders. You were
know,
so
that's good.
excited about it.
Dude, it's only
you should
6
see
seats in
these
a
cup
giant
holders.
van.
You know that
So many cup holders.
That van is perfect for proving grounds.
Oh, it is.
Honestly,
it
proving
really
grounds.
is.
Right now, it has
when is
a
proving
race
grounds
car.
this year?
It was last week, 2 weeks ago.
No, there's going to be an official
September
one
something.
in September.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna party my ass off there. I'm gonna do 2 proving grounds
Bring
in
the
one.
van. Bring the van
the van will be
2.0.
Then
Yes.
The van's going to be there.
Thank God. Then I don't gotta drive the Escalade.
No,
Please.
you can bring the Escalade, but the van is, man, we're going to take it up for Jalopy Olympics. It's coming up. Jalopy Olympics is going to be the first.
When is this?
First weekend in August.
Oh my God.
Have we decided who's doing what yet?
Kind of. I think we got some people doing some things. you
What
know?
do I get to do? I want to do something fun.
Oh, you got to do what you do best.
Burnouts.
Absolutely not.
No, you are a burnout, but we're not.
Oh, here we go.
Josh is a roll racer.
Yeah, I can do road
If
racing.
you catch Josh on the highway, do me a favor. pull up next to them, rev your engine,
Okay, hold on.
honk your
Stop.
horn 3
No, don't
times.
do
Wait,
that.
didn't something similar like that happen to you today?
Yes,
Please
so
get into
annoying.
it.
Okay, so I'm driving this stupid fucking Escalade, right? It's a normal Escalade, it's not even a nice Escalade, it's just a
I
normal
know. What's it got,
Escalade.
like 22s on it?
24s.
Oh, my
don't
goodness.
disrespect me
I
like
stand
that.
corrected. I'm so
So-
sorry.
Cream
I
that.
had 3 people today. 3. I had 2 Civics and a fucking Q.
Civic Lives Matter.
Why? Why are
I
these people?
don't get it. I'm like, bro, they pull up next to me, they're like, whop. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, I don't get
First off,
that.
hey, if I floor it, that's like $6.
But you know what?
on top of that, it's the slowest thing on earth.
But you know why they're doing that though? Because they recognize you in the car and they're just playing around with you.
But I look at them like they're stupid. I literally give them like,
I mean, you always wear a Drive Cartel everywhere, right?
Right.
and it does have a banner on it, but
Yeah.
I only have the front banner, and it's not that noticeable. I feel like I just think it's a bunch of. I feel like I just draw in idiots like to my car when I'm
Like
driving.
mine.
Where are you from? East Side St. Paul.
Oh, do you want to hear what I did here? Okay, I'm not gonna. We'll talk about this afterwards about what happened on the way here. But there's another story I didn't tell you guys, and got me
Speaking
mad.
of banners, I want Ian to remind me of what the older lady said to you at the gas station.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was great. Please
Oh.
remind me.
Okay, well, there's a couple of them. The one was the one I pull up and it says Drive Cartel, and a guy comes
Drive
up.
Cartel, right?
Yep, Drive Cartel. A guy comes up to me and goes, "So you guys hiring?" And I go, "What?" And I'm like, "No, it's a what?" I didn't understand. And he's like, he was thinking a cartage company.
Oh,
The
fuck.
cartel, right?
I'm like, what? Like, I didn't get it. But then the lady comes up to me, same gas station, by the way. It's the one I frequent all the time.
Is it the holiday?
It's the holiday.
Oh, of
I
course,
knew
I
it.
knew
Was.
This
it.
lady comes up to me and she goes, "I really like what you have on your van." And I was like, "Oh, well, thanks." And she goes, "I think more people need to drive careful."
That is the best.
I was just like,
Please tell me you didn't correct
You did
her.
not-
You just let her go on her way.
I just let her go on her
Just
way.
let her go away.
I-
She's so
just
kind.
like-
She's so
she was
innocent.
I'm
Like,
like-
that redhead was so nice today.
I'm like, I hope she reads it again and goes, I'm an idiot."
I mean,
No, that's
cartel,
fine.
careful. I think there's like a few even numbers
mean,
of letters off.
I mean, at that point, when you're that old, you just kind of see what you want to see.
Just let it go. She means well.
Yeah.
You know what? But all that stuff's old. It's all just hustery to me. So
It's always good to bring it back, the interesting stories we get.
Oh God, and we get so many.
hashtag hustery. Sorry, Donald Trump's an idiot. Anyway, I didn't mean that. Yeah,
I did. I will mean
Yeah, I
that.
did. I did. Anyway, so I've known you guys for a long time, like 5 or 6 years.
5 or
right?
6 years, yeah. It's been
That's so weird to say. Like I've never actually let that process through my brain that we've been friends that long. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't call us friends, Josh.
going from
Okay,
just,
sorry, Dad.
just seeing like how our friendships and, the connections we have with people have evolved, and just everyone that has been, I wouldn't call us OGs yet, but we've been.
Oh, we pre-OGs.
I don't-
Jeez.
Are we?
Pre-OG.
I don't know. When people look at me, they're like, "Oh, you're 12." So it's just, I don't think people think I'm an OG.
Okay, so go. Okay, so this is what made it weird for me. I don't know. You haven't been there in a while, I don't think. Have you? Have you been to A-List lately?
I wish I've been working pretty diligently on 4 cars right
Yeah.
now. So
Trying to make it out next week. So
Cool. Maybe I'll try it.
I'm being very ambitious to finishing my
Okay,
car.
well,
I think
I'll
I
tell
have
you-
one I can bring out next week.
I'm gonna.
That's this Tuesday coming up, right?
No, it'll
now.
be. It'll
time?
literally be if we get this done today at the right time. Editing, it'll be today, not Tuesday.
or tomorrow. I don't know.
What's today? We're gonna take us.
It'll be
It's every Tuesday. Every Tuesday.
It's every Tuesday. Yeah.
Well,
Tell us about your experience the last time you went to.
Oh my God! It
to
was
a
like
Emmett
so.
Illis
Like
meet.
I was like, "Whoa!" First off, it was a Thursday, which really confused me.
Because it used to just be Tuesdays,
Right.
and then it got
Are they doing
extended
2 days?
No. because of
so
COVID,
the
or
the admins aren't doing Thursdays as well. It's that what I really think it is personally is that Katang's not doing anything yet. So a
they're
lot of the
filling-
Katang members are finding a place to go, which Battle Creek is a really good place to go.
It's good.
So I showed
As
them
long as
there.
we don't ruin it.
Yeah.
Good relationships with the
Yeah.
cops that
Oh my God.
drive
Yeah.
through. It's
And the old lady that lives over the hill who calls the
that
cops
lady.
on us every week. But
I'm gonna send her some cookies.
no, she doesn't want cookies.
I'll make her
COVID.
my
She probably needs some
fettuccine.
tea.
I make really good fettuccine from scratch.
Just sprinkle a little COVID in
Well, you
there.
should have brought some for us, but
I'm watching my carbs, as you both should too.
I'm definitely watching my carbs now.
Cheers.
So, cheers to that with the beer. So I went there on Thursday and it was packed. Like it was not like packed, but it was packed. And I was like, whoa, cool. Like people are still getting together. Even through the COVID stuff. Like cool. And then
But
I got on my hoverboard because I always do, and I did my little lap.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see someone on a hoverboard, I'm like, "There's Josh."
I know, but it was
It's a signature.
It was the best $200 I ever spent in my life.
Oh, okay.
I think you're one of like 100,000 that can say that.
Well, the thing is, like, to be totally honest, well, first off, just to prove a point, two different years, the Minneapolis Mile, MNCEC show, first year brought the hoverboard, and everyone's like, oh my God, this walk's so long. And I was like, yeah, it's not that bad.
Of course, you're on a hoverboard. You
And
can't do
you're on a
anything.
hoverboard.
You know what I did the next year? I literally brought my fucking 125cc dirt bike down
I
there.
know you went to go roll my windows up for
Yep.
me because it was raining.
And I was you know how cool it is driving a fucking dirt bike in downtown Minneapolis?
That's
and
pretty
the
badass.
cops can't say shit to you. Like I saw cops and I was just like, hello.
Hands up to MNCEC. I
Yeah,
believe
good
that
shows.
MN, the Minneapolis Mile, is by far
Super ahead of its time.
One of the best shows that can be put on because it just incorporates
big.
every single make and model and
Yeah.
It's
and,
huge.
and it doesn't only just include participants from the like car enthusiasts. It's everyone. I saw
Yeah.
people that I'm like, are you in a car? So they're like, no, we just saw this event happening. It's a mile stretch. There's food truck. Food always brings people in, and it just
Yep.
it literally brings people in.
I agree.
You know what? Speaking of really big shows,
Oh,
We
I
got-
think I might know where you're going here.
Yeah,
there's
let us know.
there's a really fantastic show coming
Please
up.
tell me.
And if today is Monday, because we pre-record this, just in case,
I have to pee
Josh
or
does something on the show, but we have to because he could, you never know with this guy. But if this is Monday, then you have today and tomorrow, and that's it to register for this for Modest 2020.
2020.
That's right, St. Paul River Center.
The
coming to you
biggest.
live.
We overlapped.
And what date is that on?
August 15th.
August 15th.
We are
Set
gonna-
your calendars.
Set your calendar.
I'm sure all of your friends have
better
shared
at this.
something. Yeah, you really are. I'm like one voice monotone.
You
sounding-
paid for the seat, but you'll only use the edge.
I think he's practiced this.
I think he has.
Please don't tell me.
Kira's sick of you.
Kira's like, this dude is.
Stop it.
Anyway, but yeah, no, Modest 2020, August 15th, St. Paul River Center. If there's registration left, make sure you get it in. But if not, you gotta just come and hang out. There's people coming from all over the country to go to the show. It's going to be the largest show here this year, I believe.
St. Paul.
In St. Paul.
Yes.
I mean, dependent, because I think.
We don't know what else is going to be.
Yeah, you never know
what's
back
gonna
to the 50s or whatever
Yeah.
is gone. And,
I mean, the show's in August already. I mean, car season for Minnesota,
man.
literally September. I mean, it's August, and then September is literally the last month, and then October. We don't even know if it starts snowing,
Yeah,
like the
it's
first week of
literally the
October.
best.
You know,
what's cool though right now is the fact that the car community has come up with new ways of like hanging out and doing stuff. The cruises, the drive-in that happened.
The birthday
birthday
passes are
burnout
so cool,
cruises,
man. I've been
yeah.
to a couple.
what is one of the Coon Rapids Boulevard?
Yep,
cruise?
Saturday night.
Yes, every
Coon
Saturday.
Rapids.
Is it the
Cruise?
Cold Steel? Who does that?
Keith?
No, Keith
No.
moved.
Oh,
No, I don't know.
Like
the-
last year.
no.
You behind the times.
I have
Oh,
been,
I
I have
can't
been a
remember.
hermit. I will admit.
I want to say it's whatever. Anyways, they were super cool.
Yeah. It was great. It's pretty fun. You get out there and just cruise, and you get to see all kinds of cars, and you're driving up and down a strip, so kind of like old school style. So you get to see other cars,
Kind of like the old Porkies, you know?
yeah, like the old Porky to Porky cruise,
Yeah.
which hasn't happened for a long time now.
But that's where I grew up at,
Right,
you know?
kids.
Not kid, bro. I'm an OG. I was a Porky's
No,
kid.
kids. If you didn't get to do the Porky cruise, you can do the Coon Rapids Boulevard cruise
And pretend like you're
and
cool, I
pretend
guess.
like you're doing that.
I guess I'm one of those because I've never done the park.
Oh, Parking Cruise is
Oh,
The only
my
thing
God.
I remember was Rice Killers next to Porky's.
Okay.
Explains a lot.
Yes, I am a racer. I drive a Honda.
I
Come on.
know. That's what
Come
we're
on.
saying.
I'll put it out there.
Well, we'll show you some.
I'm
old,
trying to hold it down for my Honda folks.
We'll show you some old photos of Porky's back in the day.
Oh, it was beautiful. The neon lights and everything.
It was
cool.
gorgeous.
It is really. I do love like those neon lights. There's not a lot of buildings that have that
Never.
anymore.
Nope.
And
Yep.
the one thing about Minnesota, another one thing, I guess, because I say one thing all the time, is we don't have a lot of like landscapes that we can take pictures of our cars by. And so we have to make it work and go to like an airport and hope that we can see the view of like the skyline,
Oh, sure.
or find like a random building and hopefully the owner won't get mad that we're taking
I
a
have,
million pictures in front of it.
I have some places. You just got to come out and cruise, and we'll go take some photos.
My car's still on jack stands, but
Hey.
Oh wait, a Honda on jack stands?
No
weird,
way.
right?
They run forever.
It's okay. NA cars, right? It's supposed to run forever.
Well, I will say this. You know what? Like we're gonna hang out. We're gonna have some more beers, and we're gonna chat some more. But for you. You got to go because we need to crack some more of these beers. But anyway, it's wonderful to have myself on the show. It's great to have Josh on the show. But more importantly, having Mugen Kimmy on the show is an experience that I can't describe because we love you so much. And we're
love
just
you guys
happy you
too.
could make it out during all this crazy so that way we can do this thing, you know?
14-day quarantine.
14-day
That's how
quarantine.
dedicated we are.
Yep, now we have to
Yeah,
do
we
14.
literally have to stay here 14 days now. So you guys better watch a bunch
This
of
house
this.
is amazing.
Yeah.
14 days.
Hey, one more thing though too. I heard you got a sponsorship this year.
I do have a sponsorship.
what'd you get?
I am partnered up. So I'm actually partnered up with Airlift Performance, but they didn't give me a discount code. But this racing gave me a discount code for 20% off your entire purchase.
What's that
Oh,
code?
The code is MK20 off. All right, MK20 off, and you get 20% off your entire purchase. I know a lot of people get 5%, 10%. I think 20% is a pretty good deal,
That's a super good deal.
Super
and
good
it goes
deal.
through the end of the year, and hopefully I'll renew what I'm working with them so that you guys can continue to get this discount code. And I don't handle any of like the shipping and like the questions. I'm just here to help provide you guys with not spending as much money on a car
like
part
a
that you may
brand
desire.
ambassador.
Exactly. There you go.
Cool.
Well, thanks for doing that because that's great. I'm actually a couple things I was looking at over there, so it's good. And then make sure you go to drivecartel.com where you can get all the really cool, fashionable attire that we all wear on these shows and the stuff that we wear on the street. And make sure you come out to Modest 2020. It's going to be pretty good, man.
August 15th.
Like the logistics on it have been crazy, but you know what? We're doing everything we possibly can to make sure that you can come out to a show, be safe, have a great time, and enjoy car season for what it is in 2020. Because we don't want to leave you out, and we don't want to be left out. We want to all just enjoy the thing that we love. It's a piece of art, and we just do this from the bottom of our heart because we all do this for free.
We do.
We just want to
We
do it
do.
to see you. So come hang out with us. If you see us on the street, say hi from 6 feet, and we'll hang
Just
out.
don't try to race me. I'm slow.
Yeah, you can
do.
You can try to race me though. That should be fun.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you could. I'm a maybe.
no, just the Escalade. Won't go anywhere.
Okay, everybody. Well, we'll see you soon. Bye.